Hey, man.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of Second Life?
Is this the game that Dwight plays on The Office?
Yeah.
Is this straight up?
Yeah, straight up.
Is it a real game?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's a real thing.
Wait, what?
It's a real thing. And it's
I thought they made it up for The Office.
No, it's 100% real.
I thought really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're telling me they could have played RuneScape on The Office? I thought they made this up.
Nope.
Second Life is a real game.
It's a real game.
Where you can just sell paper. That was probably one of the funnier bits of that season is that Dwight is so sad with his life that he replicated his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a funny bit.
It's really funny.
So what you're saying is in Second Life, you and I have a podcast
Yeah.
with a lot more listeners.
Maybe. Well, here, I'll tell you this. The Second Life, it's a video game?
No, I've heard of Second Life. It's those videos that all the Christian celebrities did. Where they sit in that
It's like
chair.
a dark room with the chair and the
they
light
just
in the
go,
middle.
Man, I was really sad before.
They're like, I sinned a lot once.
I am Second Life. And we were like in our youth groups like,
And we're all tearing up.
I
We're
like relate to Lecrae so much.
it's like, Pastor Chuck, can we please worship? Can we do worship now? I need it.
And he was like, he flipped his hair. It was 2010, so he flipped his hair.
Like, yeah, kids.
And then he's like, why is he saying that? Why is he like, yeah, kids,
Yeah, kids.
He's like over in the
Worship.
corner. What's he on
God,
drugs?
so
What is this? Like, he's just over there like,
flipping his hair.
yeah, kids. Guess what? We have a guest, and it's the guy from the video. What? Dude, there was a speaker at our church
the confetti cannons.
who thought that wasn't enough. Thought that I am second was wrong. So he started his own thing called I am third.
Wait, hold on. Second was who was second then? So who's first? Tell me who's first.
God, always.
Obviously. Who's second?
Clearly, right? Second is others.
Is the president.
Is others.
Oh.
The president? You think because this is 2010, right? So you think this guy loved Obama so much at my small Baptist church that he was like, you know what? I hear these Christian celebrities talking. And when I say Christian celebrities, I mean like minor league baseball players. That were just bold about their faith, right?
Yeah.
And we never told them to shut up and dribble, but that's a different thing. So
Yeah, it'd be weird if we told them to dribble though.
we're like,
It's like, what
shut up and dribble. And they were like, what?
I said,
Like they're
what?
putting the
Like,
eye
do I
paint
need to
on there that's like
spit?
John 3:16. Anyway, so it's like minor league baseball players being like, I just love the Lord, right? And they're like, I am second to Jesus. This guy was like, God is first. Other people are second. I am third.
So he showed you the videos and then was like, don't be like these people.
No, he didn't show us the videos. He had his own, and now he had his own bracelets with the same font
Oh gosh.
that just said I am third.
Yikes.
He was launching
You get those made on Vistaprint.
He was launching a counter
A counter movement
to
the already small movement. I think I actually have an I am second sticker. Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah. It's the big old 2 right there.
giant 2.
So if you go to iamsecond.com and join, then you can create your own avatar and character in this game.
Yeah, and if I am second is not enough for you, you can go to iamsecond.com/I'm third.
We're getting kind of into the episode. Do you want to run because we can run the theme song.
Oh yeah, let's run the theme song.
Great.
Let's do that. I forgot that it's not just something we do after the fact. Now, what the heck is this? Oh my gosh! You taped it too good. You should have took it to the UPS store.
I don't know. I was just so excited. And now the tape is blocking the holes.
Can you do this just like without just skip a note? Just skip one of the Oh, there we go. The tape's free. Okay, here we go. Time for the theme. take the time to learn the whole theme song?
Yeah, 100%. It's 3 notes.
Can you play Hot Cross Buns?
Uh-huh. I think that's it. I think that's I don't know.
Everything.
Really, the talent was the...
That's impressive.
That's like,
That's pretty impressive.
I played the tuba in middle school. And I was cry laughing the whole time I'm playing the theme song. I really hope that we overlay the audio with the theme song.
With that. Yeah, I'm sorry if you were listening to this in your AirPods and then you just heard
that are dangling down from the roof of your car.
From the roof of your car, and then you just heard the recorder in your ears. It's hard enough to hear the recorder in the same room as you, but inside your ears. Yikes.
Yeah, man, I've been playing that for a minute. I bought that recorder like pre-lockdown. So
that's incredible.
Yep.
So wait, so a second ago when you said that Alex now has it set up so we can just trigger.
Oh, I lied. Yeah, that was a lie. That was a setup.
The setup was you taped a recorder at the bottom of the table.
Yes, I did.
So you.
It's been waiting there for like a week. I did that it's been sitting there. So I should have known the tape was going to be stronger because it stayed there.
The more
for a
tape
week.
is there, the stronger it gets.
Every day I added a new piece of tape. Every day I wake up. Actually, before I went to bed, I'd come in and tuck it in. I'd say,
with some more tape.
Another piece of tape. Yeah. I've really been... And you should see what else is taped under here.
Feel out of there. Make sure there's nothing... Is that your cat?
That's a Bang Energy drink. Bang Energy. Sponsors of this show.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So, Second Life was made by this company.
I love that we just got to roll through now. You know?
I know. Like, I've got to just continue. How am I supposed to continue after this?
I don't know.
Second Life was founded by this guy named Philip Rosedale, who owns a company called Linden Labs. And Philip Rosedale...
Linden Labs?
Linden Labs, yes. Philip Rosedale looks a lot like what you would expect the guy who created this game to look like.
He's like, my life is so good, I want to replicate it.
I want to do it again.
That's a picture from that looks like an I Am Second video. Like, not even a joke.
It
that,
actually
like, straight up looks like an I Am Second video.
Second Life, they made the I Am Second videos.
Yeah.
They're the ones.
It's all propaganda. That's what the guy was telling us, is that, Jesus first, Obama second, I am third.
That's why they put propaganda in the I Am Second videos.
Yeah. And I didn't even want to hear what the guy with his, like, the I Am fourth wristbands was saying. So...
But yeah, so you made this game called Second Life. The concept of Second Life is really interesting because there's been a lot of disputes on what to call it, whether it's a game, a virtual world, or some people just call it a chat. Like, they're like, it's just a chat room, like a sophisticated chat room. Like, and so it's
because there's no like objectives.
No, there's not a point. So here's the concept. We'll take it back a little bit before we jump into the nitty gritty. In '99, Linden Labs started working on this game.
Before we get into the nitty gritty?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for giving me the overview before we get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Linden Labs in '99 started working on this game. Concept of the game was like your stereotypical like shooter game. So guns, grenades, blow stuff up.
Okay.
The only difference was he wanted to give...
There's a chat feature.
You could talk to people.
Yeah.
You could say, "Hey,"
it's
and
a
then shoot
sophisticated chat room where we murder each other. Okay,
yeah.
Makes sense
I get it. I like the way you think.
Yeah, this is nitty gritty.
This is. But the what he wanted to do is he wanted to give players the ability to create their own games, and so it was all shooters.
Okay.
Like you had everybody had a gun and a grenade. It was the same gun, same grenade.
We all shared it.
Yeah, it's like okay.
It's like a Hunger Games situation where it's like out in the middle.
Can I have my turn now?
And if your little space bar was broken, you couldn't run. Oh yeah, people do the whole double thing, like, and you're just like sprinting forward.
Yeah. So the the idea was that people would be able to create their own kind of games, and so they had all these like building blocks, so you could build your own
kind of
maps,
like Minecraft.
kind of like Minecraft.
Okay.
But it was this.
I don't know
this
anything
shooter
about
game.
Minecraft except for you can build stuff.
Yeah, so I mean that's all there is to it.
And the graphics are lifelike. That's all I know.
They're very lifelike in Minecraft. Glad you noticed. So, and then for some reason he pivoted and was like, "Yeah, let's get rid of everything in this game, pretty much, and and let's just see what happens." And so the whole concept of Second Life is like you create your avatar.
Okay.
And it's kind of like similar to The Sims in that you just kind of live your life. Like there's no real point. There's no real objective.
Do you age?
I actually don't know.
There's no. I mean, because the questions I have is, can you develop skills? Like.
Well, yeah. I don't know if you do because there's all I can see is like age restrictions on like what age you're allowed to play.
Yeah. What is it? 40?
If you get to 40, you're too old. You can't play anymore.
Oh.
You age out.
So they expect young adults.
You're too old. No.
Okay.
You can't be a kid. You have to be 16 years or older.
16 to 40.
Yeah, 16 to dead.
16 to dead sounds like a Netflix film.
Yeah. Or like a 90s grunge band.
Everything sounds like a 90s grunge band to you, though.
But
I was
for real,
trying to go
16
somewhere.
dead.
16 to dead? No, you're right.
It does. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, no, I noticed. It's fine. We were going to wait. That's all right. So, because we were looking up the age thing, so
That's right.
it's
Where
just
were
like
we
a
before that?
world where basically
yeah.
you are there.
Yeah, so all the game developers did was they created kind of this set of like rules that they
They were
coded
like,
in.
what's the biggest thing about life? And one of the developers was like, that it's meaningless and nothing matters. Put that in the game.
Put that in the game. Yeah, pretty much actually. So what they did is they just created the world, and then they kind of created the physics and the laws for the world, and then they created what they call primitives. And so they're these building blocks that are really just kind of shapes, like just really basic squares, circles, triangles, and then they made the ability for people to create their avatars, and then they were just like, okay, guys, have at it, see what happens. And so everything in the game outside of land and like character, like the very basic assets you need to create your character, were not developed by the game developers, but they were developed by the players. So like every building, like most of the clothes, like most of the like artwork, like
so a player just picks up this sphere,
yeah,
and then just goes and make this a shirt.
pretty much. So it's kind of like,
Okay.
have you ever seen like footage of a game developer making something in a game? Like
Yeah, but I've only seen it in movies where like sitting in like a weird creepy chair and there's like 17
that's
screens.
accurate. That's exactly what it's like.
Is it?
No.
And they're like in the dungeon and like their mom is making fish sticks upstairs.
What movie is this?
I don't know. I literally can't think of what the
Their
movie
mom's
is.
making fish sticks off screen, but you know that she's making fish sticks.
Yeah, well, because he goes, Ma, I want fish sticks. Like they gave clues. They gave contextual clues.
And he's sitting there eating fish sticks, asking for more
No,
fish
he would
sticks.
never do that at the screen, okay? Because the grease would get in the keyboard. It's a very sophisticated system.
You're right.
So that's
Can't mess that up
because he's making shirts.
in the game.
He's like, Mom, I'm creating.
I'm creating. Yeah. So that's
And
pretty
she's
accurate.
like, how about you create some income for this house, you know? And he's like,
and he's like, shut up, Mom.
Sure.
I'm gonna stream this, and then you'll see.
Dude, people were weird. Okay, anyway. So there's no point to the game.
No, not at all. Other than just, hey, go live a life.
Just here.
It's literally a second life.
And then see what people create.
Yeah, and
So,
just see what
I'm
happens.
assuming, I don't know. Because they wouldn't have to like go through a Renaissance period. They wouldn't have to go through like building the wheel.
No, yeah, because all that stuff is like
They're just replicating what's already out here.
into essentially.
Okay.
And I mean, there's some.
But how
stuff
do you
that they
create
just
an
kinda-
object? Like, how do I take a sphere and be like,
Yeah.
this is a shirt now?
So think of it almost like Adobe InDesign. Like you take all your shapes, you move them together to create other shapes, and then eventually you get the object you're looking for, but in 3D. So like,
Okay.
you want to make a shirt, you very primitively, you take a square, you put a couple squares on the side, cut a little circle out for the head, and then you've got your shirt. And then you just paint bucket tool and give it the color, you know?
Okay.
So
okay.
That's the concept, but in 3D. And so there are people who make stuff that looks really not great, but then obviously there's people who are like really good at it and can create super realistic stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's what's kind of interesting about it is everything in the game, with the exception of really land, is created by the players. And so you walk into the world and all the buildings, everything was built in there by the people. That sounded very like American Dream.
Yeah.
This is built by the people.
Well, you know, if you go downtown, all that stuff wasn't.
It was built by the game designers.
Okay. You know that was put
God
there by.
made that.
Oh, man.
Same concept as real life.
Yeah. You see an Arrowhead Stadium? God put it here.
God made Arrowhead. Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
That's why I am fourth. God, Obama, Patrick Mahomes, me.
And then me. I am almost as important as Obama and Pat Mahomes.
But not near as important. Also, Obama is more important than in this scenario. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess I'm struggling to sit here and go, like, what is the draw? But I guess I played RuneScape for 6 years, so I guess I also don't understand.
Yeah,
the
but
draw.
RuneScape had more of a point.
That's true. We had skills. You had like objectives, quests.
I think it's more. I think it relates really well to The Sims because The Sims is similar. Like in The Sims, there's not much of a point. Like you just live a second life, and that's the idea of Second Life. You just live a second life. But what gets really interesting about Second Life is what the users in the game have created because they've essentially built this whole other world.
Would they have to structure their own economy?
Yeah, so they ended up adding into the game after like users had kind of created a rudimentary like trading system. The game developers were like, okay, they call them the Linden dollar, and so there's like an actual dollar that they trade with. They trade goods, and people have built companies in these games where they're making shirts or cars or houses or furniture or whatever. And
show me some
selling
screenshots from this game so I can see so I can get a better idea of what the graphics look like.
It's not incredible. Like it's
right.
I would compare it to RuneScape.
Okay.
I mean, let's see if I can bigotize this.
But I haven't played RuneScape in like years, so I've forgotten.
Shut up. Yes, you have.
I haven't like logged in. It's exactly like RuneScape.
Yeah. So it's pretty accurate to.
If you never played RuneScape, it's a lot like Second Life, except for it's based in like the medieval times, and that's about the only difference.
Yeah, here's Second Life.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's interesting is if you look at this, literally the only thing made by the developers of the game was the ground and the trees.
So I see a voting box.
Yeah, really interesting.
I see 2 voting boxes.
They're voting for something. I don't know what they're voting for here, which is interesting because
they've got their own political system, their own economy, their own.
They don't really have a political system. I'm very interested why that voting box was there because they don't have a government, and we'll talk about that. But
they don't have a government. They only have a god.
Yeah, we don't need a government when we have Philip Rosedale.
When we have Linden. And then other players are like, dude, I don't even know if Linden exists.
Yeah, they're like, I'm pretty
sure.
They're all
within the game.
Yeah.
Being like, dude, the whole point is just to, live your life, find happiness, and die.
You live your second life and you die. And then
people are like, wait,
second life sucks.
Second life implies the existence of a first life.
No, that's just what they call it. It doesn't imply there's no first. There's no first life.
Exactly.
Stop living in fairy tales. There's no first life.
What about this book that tells me there is? Shut up.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. Sit down at your keyboard and keep playing.
Interesting. Interesting how this devolved into a critique of the progressive culture.
Yeah, so there's so many ways we could go with this. Let's start with this. Let's start with...
yeah, I'm wondering where you're going to go with it, because it feels like the episode's like, and that's Second Life.
No, it goes so deep. It goes so deep.
Okay.
So we'll do this. So in 2003, it officially started, and in 2013, it reached its peak of 1 million regular users. So people who were on at least weekly.
Which is not as big as I would think it is.
No.
Do you think that it being on The Office gave a push for it?
It might have. It might have.
sounds
I had
about
heard
the
of it.
time.
I had heard of it before The Office.
Oh, I had not heard of it. I thought it was made up for The Office.
I wanted to make a Second Life account when I was in middle school, but I was a kid, so I wasn't allowed.
Yeah, because
And-
you were not 16 and
Yeah.
or dead.
And at that point, I was in middle school. I didn't realize I could go to the form and just put I was born in like 1981.
Right.
Nobody taught me that
No
yet.
one knew how we didn't all know how lying worked yet.
Yeah, nobody taught me how to lie. I was like,
That's not true though. You lied a lot when you were a kid.
in 6th grade. How do you know? You don't know me. Well, you didn't know me.
Yeah,
Then.
I knew you then.
Tell me one lie I told when I was in 6th grade that you know about.
You told everybody that John Elway was your uncle. So it's so did I nail it or what? Don't ever do this thing where you're like, you don't know me. Freaking know you, Tim.
Okay, that's fair.
You did tell everybody that though. What's the
Everybody's a
biggest
strong
lie
word.
you ever told? Like just for no reason.
I don't know if it's the biggest, but my favorite is
That's not.
we might have talked about this on the podcast before. I don't know. I was in 5th grade, 4th
Okay,
grade.
okay.
I was young. I don't know whenever it came out. It was probably right after Green Day's American Idiot came out, and I was playing with Bionicles in the hallway
Yep.
and singing Boulevard of Broken Dreams while I was playing with them because I love that song. Yeah.
We can't sing the words, but we can.
Yeah.
I'll grab my recorder.
And my mom was like, "That's a cool song. Where'd you hear it?" And in my head, I was immediately like, "Crap, they're not a Christian band. She can't know. I listened to Green Day." So I said, "I wrote it."
I mean, that's a pretty common lie for
And
like
she was
kids,
like,
though.
she was like, "Wow, that's really good." And she was like impressed.
And she told all of her friends,
Yeah, she might have.
"He's gonna be like a musician. I think he'll play bass on the worship team."
She wasn't impressed enough to say I'd be the singer, but she's like, "He'll at least play bass."
He'll play bass. Oh man,
right,
that's how we became friends. Was you playing bass? You know, so maybe the Boulevard of Broken Dreams led you straight to me.
To more broken dreams.
God bless the boulevard that led me straight to you. My mom thought I could play bass.
Yikes! I hate this.
Here's the thing, man. I woke up this morning. I did not sleep well,
Yeah.
and
Me neither.
I knew that this wasn't going to go well.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping you were gonna say.
The biggest lie I ever told was I was in 3rd grade talking about the Super Bowl in the class, and then one kid misheard or something. Randall Paget said, "You went to the Super Bowl?" And then like I saw everyone's eyes light up, and there was like a moment where you're like, I could tell the truth right now, but I didn't.
You're like, yeah,
I leaned into it.
I did. It was
Yeah.
cool.
And then they spread that everywhere.
And everyone was like, "You know, Jaron went to the Super Bowl."
Yes. Because that's how 3rd grade lies spread.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
suddenly all my teachers know that I went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was the Raiders and Buccaneers, I think.
Yeah.
2 teams that I do not care anything about. But my family went. So
And then your teacher asked,
teacher found out because the teacher asked my mom. Jaron told us about your trip. What trip? To the Super Bowl. Nope. Must have been on his Second Life account.
"Must have did that on Second Life."
She made me get up in front of the class and tell the class that I lied. All 'cause-
That's incredible.
And I blame Randall to this day.
That's incredible.
I blame myself, but mostly Randall.
There was a girl in kids' church a couple weekends ago. She's in 1st grade, and I asked for prayer requests, and she said, "Please pray for my mom because she's really sad." And I was like, "Why?
Oh.
Why is she sad?" And she was like, "Well, we went to Target the other day, and while we were at Target, someone broke into our house and scribbled all over her white table with markers and then left. And my mom's really sad about it. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Dude, I just love the idea of this kid covering their tracks so much. They're like when the mom was like, okay, who did this? And she'd be like, dude, ask Tim at church. He knows.
Someone broke in the house.
Yeah.
Well, we were at Target.
Did you ask that mom about that?
Yeah, I was like, hey, listen to what she said today.
Heard someone broke into your house.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, I am pretty sad about it.
Dude, I feel like that's gonna be the kind of parent that I am. Or it was like, yeah, I'm devastated. I don't know how to stop these. We got a ring door. We got a Tring doorbell just to stop these scribblers.
These table scribblers. Yikes.
That would be a pretty funny thing to do if you break into someone's house. So if you just you make it look like children broke in.
Scribbled all over your furniture.
You start drawing really bad flower pots. You know that house that every kid draws? Just all over the walls, dude.
And people come in, they're like, an army of kids just broke in and drew all over our walls.
How many are you drawing for them to be like an army? I was thinking like 1 or 2, and you're like an army of children. You got to spend a few hours on this canvas of a house.
I need to call my Allstate agent and see if this is covered. Hey, do you guys cover...
Plot twist, the Allstate agent did it. Next week on TILLN True Crime.
Oh, yikes.
We should do a show called True Crime Last Night.
Oh.
Where we just reveal the things that we did last night. All right. So Second Life.
Yeah, so Second Life. We'll start here. We'll start with...
Do you ever feel like in the middle of an episode we should just give up?
It's really, yeah.
Anyway.
Let's start with relationships.
Is it hot in here?
It's a little warm.
All right. Alexa.
He doesn't even have an Alexa.
It's what I call Alex, our sound producer. Alexa. Go turn the air down.
He was just as responsive as Alexa.
Alexa, set the AC to 66.
Whoa, big spender.
You know,
Whoa.
we've launched a Patreon.
Apartment lifestyle.
And I haven't paid my electric bill in a few months, but they're doing the whole we're not turning things off during COVID.
So you're like,
so I'm like, let's rack it up. It's gonna suck eventually, but for now. Because if it gets turned off in the winter, I'm gonna bundle up.
Yikes. Yeah, true.
So, but it's an apartment, so they can't turn off one unit. That's what I have from my research found out. So there's no danger of getting turned. I did hear them knock on one of my neighbor's doors the other day, and I thought it was my door, so I muted my TV to wait a second, and I heard the lady be like, when she answered, she's like, "Hey, I am from the electric company here to collect." And I was like, they're sending people door to door now?
Interesting.
Evergy?
That's sketchy.
KCP&L?
That's not the name.
Not anymore. It's Evergy.
Yeah.
But they're sending people door to door.
That's sketchy.
In a Toyota Corolla, she pulls up with a little Evergy logo on the side. And you wouldn't think that's intimidating, but if she steps out and you're like,
I'm intimidated.
I don't want to know who that is.
She's one of the bounty hunters from my apartment complex.
Yes.
That's
you answer your door and dog the bounty hunter is just like,
hey, pay your bill.
Heard you've been running your AC pretty low. And we're like, yeah, dude, we were sweating during a podcast. And he's like, carry on.
Yikes.
Two free passes to Doggerland. That's a throwback.
That's a big throwback.
Anyway.
I haven't heard Doggerland in a while.
Let's cut all this out.
Let's
just destroy everything.
Let's just start relationships. Let's talk about relationships.
In the game?
In the game, yeah. So inevitably.
Obviously, because RuneScape had, that was my first girlfriends.
What was her username?
Definitely a real girl, 77. And all I had to do was give her 5,000 coins a week and she'd be my girlfriend. What was that laugh? That was a cartoon. Hold on. It's like... Yeah, that's pretty close.
That's pretty close, actually.
It had a little melody to it.
There was a melody.
Did you write that song?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So definitely a real girl 77. It was a long username, and I didn't know how to spell definitely.
Yeah, so it was normally defiantly.
Yeah, I was gonna say defiantly a real girl.
You were dating both, definitely a real girl and defiantly a real girl.
Yeah.
And you were paying them both $5,000.
I called them both deaf.
5,000.
Deaf.
Def. G.
No, it's a desk joke.
Oh.
From the time I dated a girl.
That's
a throwback to our own relationship. That's our own friendship right there. That's not even a podcast joke. I dated a girl named Des, and he called her Desk for like the month that I don't know, 3 months? I don't know how long it was. You were like, you're dating a desk. So I dated two Defs. Defs.
And desk.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they form online.
Yeah. So obviously relationships start forming in the game. And it's interesting because in this game.
Now, is this a game that you can put like a headset on and talk?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
Players,
Very different.
It's not type to chat.
Yep.
Players wear headsets and chat.
Different than the runes.
Gape. Gotta finish it.
The runes.
Okay. So it's interesting
Just
because there's a few
boy.
different. Okay. There's a few different kinds of relationships that happen in Second Life, which is probably true of RuneScape as well.
And also real life.
And yeah. There's people who met on Second Life, get married in Second Life, but it stays only in their Second Life.
They never meet in
It's
or there's
all-
people who never meet each other in Second Life, but in real life
They met.
they are married.
And then they never meet in Second Life.
And then they go on Second Life to escape their marriage.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
And then there's people who met in real life and then started playing Second Life. And so then they got married in Second Life also.
Right.
Which is just annoying.
Why is that annoying? I sure hope your wife doesn't hear that. It's just annoying whenever you have like a loving relationship with someone and then you start playing a game together and like you want that relationship to continue in the game. That's so annoying.
Not what I meant. I just picture like those people who are like...
That's like people who go out on the weekends to like these bars and stuff and they're just like, all right, I'm going to hang out with only you tonight. Ugh, it's so annoying.
Not the point. My point.
No, I heard
is
your
like,
point.
Is like picture like those
If you didn't
couples
get his
that are
point,
like,
what he's saying is you should be able to have an open marriage and do whatever you
close.
want.
Gosh,
And that's the philosophy of Summit Park Church
Oh
in
my
Lee
gosh.
Summit, Missouri, where Tim
Not
is on
even.
staff.
Not even. Here's the thing. Here's my point. I picture like one of those couples where it's like their lives are just,
They're literally playing next to each other. Yeah.
And it's like this is my husband, and we were being married in real life wasn't enough, so we got
like
married
they're
in
the
Second Life
couple
too.
that have like their two screens and they're facing each other. So like you and I would be on our laptops, and then you just look up and be like, "Hey, we're doing this right here.
You want an orange juice?" And then he gives you an orange juice in the game, and it's like, "Oh, thanks, honey."
Yeah, but you're like, I kind of wanted a real one.
It's like, a virtual OJ. Okay,
I'll
go get one. The relationship in Second Life is better than the relationship.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. They live in Richmond, Virginia. All right, they keep having fights every night.
So they escaped to Second Life to have a happy marriage
Second
again,
Life.
where they're still in the honeymoon phase.
Right. And then in Second Life, someone shows up on their porch with a TV head. Okay, because you can do that.
So they start fighting again. Luckily, someone in Second Life made this game called
Third
Life.
Life. Yes. Yeah.
So they're going another step deeper.
But the only avatar is Obama, and so you have to play. It's just a world of Obamas.
Isn't it kind of
You
weird
can
that
either
we're
be
all
Barack
Obama?
or Michelle? It's Obama world.
Oh gosh, it's called Second Lady.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what's really interesting about these?
So, how many relationships started in Second Life and then translated to real life?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I wonder if there's a metric somewhere that says that.
I wonder if like that's something that, because like Bumble, this is true. Bumble will give you money for your wedding if you met on Bumble.
Really?
Yeah. I think Tinder
Interesting.
will as well, but Tinder, they're just like, no, we kind of wanted y'all to just make out with each other. But Bumble is like, we really want to foster real relationships. Did I tell you about the time I got roped into a Bumble event a few years ago?
No.
I had a friend who was like, hey, man, I'm meeting up with this girl from a different marketing agency downtown, and she's a big fan of yours. Like, it would just, could you do me a solid? Like, I'm trying to flirt with this girl. Could you do me a solid and just show up? And I was like, okay. Well, turns out it was a Bumble singles event, and you're not supposed to come alone. So that's how he invited me as his friend, even though I had a girlfriend. But he didn't want to be like, hey, man, we're going to this. But he definitely was trying to hit on the girl that was throwing the Bumble event. So I show up. She clearly has no idea who I am.
No clue.
Yeah.
She's a big fan.
And I was like, okay.
I
And like,
what's happening
it was a real life Bumble singles mingle thing. It was gross.
real life Bumble. So they have Bumble Live.
They have yes.
Interesting. I didn't know they did that.
They have a Bumble huddle.
A Buddle?
A buttle. Yep. Where and like it really kind of felt like speed dating, honestly.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is super
That's
weird.
so uncomfortable.
And every single person, I was like, I got roped into this. I have a girlfriend. And they were like,
Wait, every person?
every person. Yeah. So what sucked is that, every person that I would like end up like talking to, I'd be like, listen, that guy over there brought me. He sucks. I just threw him under the bus the whole time.
That guy is the worst.
I threw him under the Bumble bus.
Under the
Yeah. I was so mad. Anyway, I was giving you time to look up what you were looking up.
Yeah, there's no data on how many couples.
Cool.
But
like they'll give you money if you meet on Bumble. So
Interesting.
Maybe you should lie.
maybe you should like. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots. I mean, I've seen lots of different couples that like they met in the game, met in real life, and then they got married, had kids, and like have a happy marriage.
Yeah. Can
but-
you have kids on Second Life?
No.
Okay.
But you can adopt kids. But what's weird about it is kids can't play.
Yeah.
So
who are
kids are adults. Adults play as kids. There's adults who play as kids in the game.
Alex's face did the same thing.
And it's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
I feel gross about it.
It's very gross. It's very
So my wife,
uncomfy.
definitely a girl 77, and our kid, totally a kid.
totally a kid. Yeah.
And our other kid kidding around.
I like
And
that
we're
kid
thinking about getting a third one, a third one
third one.
named Kitty Cat, but it's Kidddy. Yeah. I don't like that at all. I don't like any of the jokes I made, and I don't like that people do that on Second Life.
Kitty cat.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's weird. They've got schools and everything that the kids go to, and like it's
How do you put yourself
Strange.
out there as a child to be like, adopt me?
there's these adoption centers that people go to
Stop it.
in the game, and like they adopt the kids and move in the house with them and be the child. That's probably out of every part of this game the cringiest, most uncomfortable part of the game is that there's
And there's
these
a
adults.
lot to be cringy about
There's
this.
a lot. There's a lot.
But that's
But that
definitely,
is-
I didn't expect this. I feel gross.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you feel gross.
I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you're an adult who plays a kid in Second Life.
I'm sorry if you're listening to this.
Just in general.
In general, yeah.
Yeah, so that's uncomfy.
Oh, yep, didn't like that.
Yeah, don't like it. But back to relationships. So yeah, a lot of couples have met in the game, got married in the game, and gone on through relationships. And it's interesting. I watched an interview of one couple, and they talked about they're like honestly, it's kind of really strange to put into words because we had dated in the game for like 3 years before we ever met in real life, and we got married in the game, and then we met in real life. And we started dating in real life, and then we got married in real life, and now we have the life together. We have kids, like we live together, we have the whole life. but most of our earliest memories together are virtual. Like we didn't know what each other looked like. So our early memories are in this virtual world. And they're like, it's kind of difficult to separate what is real from what was that game.
Oh.
Because so much of our relationship was in the game and not real. Isn't that weird?
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
Like, okay, give me an example of a memory that would be game.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you think the first 3 years, like the story of how they met, like, I don't know. They didn't tell their story, but I just picture them at some Second Life bar and like he spotted her in the bar and like ordered her a drink.
He was
And
like,
then
you know
they,
what? There's like 4 avatars that look exactly like you, but for some reason you stick out.
You really stand out. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is characters in the game are...
How often are people catfishing on this?
Oh, I'm sure
A
quite
lot.
often. Quite often.
Yeah.
So yeah, catfishing is like it's an actual thing.
Right.
That totally happens.
Yes. And if you go to iwanttocatfishsomeone.com, like it's just so real that it goes to Second Life.
Really? Let me try it.
Dude, it works 100%. iwanttocatfishsomeone.com goes to Second. Because like if you're like, oh man, how do I even get started? And they're just like,
It does.
yeah, 100%.
It does.
If you go to iwanttocatfishsomeone.com /merch, you can get yourself a coffee mug.
A new mug.
Please go to that website.
One side of the mug says things I learned last night. The other side says I'm not who you think I am.
Oh, stop. We got a special edition mug that says kitty cat.
Yikes.
Second Life. My avatar.
Yikes.
My abs hurt.
Yeah, that's rough.
That one didn't feel good. Anyway, oof. Yeah, that was a fun bit. All right.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to do commercials? Anyway.
Those were fun.
So people can be kids. People. But that reminds me of the. Have I told you? Like, have you read that article of the lady who was catfished by?
You couldn't even give me more than that.
No, it was. There's one article.
This has
The
only happened
time-
once.
Only time it's ever happened. And it really inspired a lot of people. That's why I want to catfishsomeone.com leads to, more inspiration. So, but the lady who she was catfished by this guy, let's call him John, right? For like a year and a half.
Okay.
And he's using the pictures of this model,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So after like a year and a half, close to 2 years, she goes, are we going to meet or whatever?
Yeah.
And finally, her friends help her figure this stuff out. They're looking up these pictures and they track down the model,
Yeah.
right? So she obviously breaks it off with John, right?
Yeah.
Messages the model
model.
just to be like, hey, listen, just so you know, someone's been using your pictures. I was in this situation where we like had a relationship for a full year and a half. It's devastating. The model responds, goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. His name is, let's say Dan, right?
Yeah.
Which is a very model-esque name.
Very modelly.
Modelly, yeah. He responds and is like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. They start talking and then they start dating and they get married. So she is catfished by some dude,
Finds the fake.
finds the model, and then marries the model. Now, here's where it gets weird. I read this full article. This is why, so after this, I literally watched the entire catalog of Catfish on Hulu.
The show, yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm obsessed with this.
Yeah.
So she married the model, all right? And because she had a real relationship with John, like she, liked this person. Now she says that sometimes she'll just be drinking her coffee in the morning and look over and see Dan.
Yeah.
And she'll have to remind herself that it's not John. Isn't that weird? That's what that reminds me of. Like, we have to, like, it's like, our memories are muddled together of like this is a virtual thing or a real thing. Like, she's got to be like, I had a relationship with who I thought was this person.
this guy.
So you learn like their mannerisms, their favorite things, like the way that like their backstory, all this
Yeah.
stuff. You learn that about John and associate it with this face.
Yikes.
And then now you're learning who Dan is and associating with the same face.
That's so uncomfortable.
Oh, that's so uncomfy.
Uncomfy.
In the words of you.
That's a fine.
I
way to
read that
say it.
article and I was like, that's ugh.
Yeah, that's
I don't like that at all.
rough.
Yeah, and that's when I started catfishing people.
Because you're like, I want this to happen to me.
I was like, dude, I want to be catfished so bad. That's the only way you can know if you're dumb enough, you know? It's like, I mean, at a certain point,
Yeah.
well, first of all, in every relationship I've ever been in, I was, at some point, was like,
Catfish.
I think I'm getting catfished. like every relationship, because most of them began online.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if a girl like
don't
this
know
is
if
talking to me.
you're real.
This feels like you don't
Fake.
exist.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm getting catfished, but I really want to be catfished.
Yeah.
Because like, I feel like I would figure it out.
Yeah. I don't think you would.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. I feel like I would figure it out. I feel like I'm smart enough. Because like some of the things that people on the show believe, this is a stand-up bit I've done, I think. But this is actually a true rant. Some of the things they believe is just straight up like
what? I haven't watched the show.
Oh, okay. Well, so there's people in relationships for a year and a half with a tech
Yeah.
company owner. Like he owns his own tech company, but doesn't have fast enough Wi-Fi to FaceTime. Stuff that doesn't add up.
Fair.
You know?
Fair,
And it's
fair,
like,
fair,
dude,
fair.
come on, man.
Fair.
So, like, I think I'm smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
But also, I'm pretty dumb. I also thought that "Proud to Be an American" was a Christian song for like a long time.
I mean, that's most churches played it.
Yeah,
during worship.
because of the line that's like, "And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me." And I was like, that sounds like Jesus.
That's Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus did that.
Gave me my freedom.
Gave me. I could see it.
And so I think I here's the thing. It's not that I want to be single. It's that I want to be catfished.
Somebody please catfish Jaron. He needs it. He needs
If
it.
you go to someonecatfishjaron.com, it's going to lead to a Google form. What's it going to lead to, Tim? What does someonecatfishjaron.com lead to?
Oh, it leads you to a contact form that will raise you out. We'll interview you. And if we deem you worthy, then we'll give you Jaron's number so you can catfish him.
I want to catfish someone.com goes to Second Life. I want to catfish someone.com/merch goes to our mugs.
Our merch.
Our merchandise. And
someonecatfishjaron.com goes to a form that you can fill out. It's an application to catfish Jaron.
I'm just trying to. I'm repeating it so I know
So
what
you
I have to
remember
do
it.
this week.
Yeah. It's also available.
It's. Please go to these. It's the dumbest thing I'm spending money on right now. Also buy merch so that I can spend this
I
money.
can afford to do this
I
stupid
have
joke.
so many domains, dude. All right.
All right, let's stop talking about relationships because they're weird. We can talk about something more fun.
What else happens? So tell me about the politics of it then.
Well,
That's more fun.
let's talk about the economy first because
Okay.
it kind of leads into the
Yeah,
politics.
what's their Dow Jones like?
Very interesting. Here's what's. I am blown away by the economy of this game because.
Okay.
So here's what happened. So obviously, like characters can create anything in the game, and so people have
And then
started
they can sell it.
Yeah, so they started all these businesses. They started selling it.
Yeah.
They made the Linden dollar, and what Second
So
Life.
are there like classes? Are there like classes of people? Like your middle class, upper class?
I would assume so. I haven't seen anything talk about that, but I would assume
That's naturally
there has
what
to be.
happens.
There has
Yeah.
to naturally be some
Yeah.
of that. Because what they did is they made this dollar, and so Second Life is free to play.
Yeah.
The way the company makes money is you pay for the money in the game, and so you can earn the money in the game,
I hate that.
and you can earn the virtual money, or
Yeah.
it's like right now the exchange rate is 250 Linden dollars to $1 US. So you can with $1 get 250 game dollars.
Okay.
And so you go on when you get in, there's like a portal you can go to and you spend $15, get X amount of money. And then you can go spend that in the game. And then you need more money, you drop some more.
How much
or
would,
you
how
earn
much
it.
would $15 be? Go ahead, do the math.
Let me get a calculator.
No, go ahead. It's $37.50, but go ahead.
$37.50.
Yeah,
Great.
I just wanted you to do it.
Perfect.
You went. Well, $1 equals $250. So $15 would be X amount of money, and it's like, well, what's X, Tim?
They didn't teach you how to solve for X.
They didn't teach you that at your
Lutheran high
school.
They're like the X stands for Satan.
Yeah, during our math class, we actually watched Schindler's List instead. Is that what you watched? I forget. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched a few things that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And
then the next day we watched Up. It was a pretty emotional roller coaster for all of us.
Yeah. In 2009, the Second Life economy had reached an economy of so their GDP in Second Life was equivalent to $567 million US flowing through Second Life. Here's what's interesting about the game is so they have that exchange rate. So you buy the money, you get virtual money back. You can go backwards. So you can turn in virtual money and get real money back, get like actual US dollars back.
Oh.
So there are people who their literal job is their Second Life job, and they are making six-figure incomes doing whatever they're doing in this game. So they have a clothing empire in Second Life, and they're making.
What time mark are we in this video?
An hour and 4.
You
Holy
took
cow.
an hour and 4 minutes to get to the fact that there are people who make a living.
Well, to be fair, it took us a long time to get
You
into
took an
contact.
hour and 4 minutes to get to
shot
the
around.
most interesting part of this episode.
Okay, we shot around for like 20 minutes in the beginning.
We shot around. What does that mean? We're doing putt-putt right over
I don't
here?
know.
We're like, we went over it.
We
took
can
a
cut.
few,
We can condense all that little. I don't even know what we were talking about. We were talking about nothing that related anything to the content of this episode.
People make their living.
Yeah, on Second Life. So there are real
You're
estate.
telling me I could have got really into this.
Yes.
Still have time to, right? How many people play right now? If their
n-
peak was 2013.
yeah. Right now, there's a population of 800,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 2006, Fortune put out a magazine, or Fortune magazine put out an article about a real estate tycoon in Second Life. So this person bought and sold real estate in the game, and has converted the game currency to $1 million in real life money. Made $1 million in Second Life selling real estate in a video game. What?
How much do you have to put in?
So here's what's interesting. So I did
Because
watch
in the game, I don't know if you know how math works. That's $250 million
yeah,
of game money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
you got to have some buy-in.
totally. You have to invest in it. So there are people.
But I guess $100 is $25,000.
So you can get in. Like, I mean, it's not.
But $1,000 is $250,000, right? Because I'm trying to think of like
So, like, for example, I watched an interview.
now
with a
my
couple.
brain is like I'm literally
You're
just
like,
I
should
switched
I
to
play Second
business
Life?
mode. I went like, okay,
I
let's
play?
see how
How can I make
can
money
I
in Second
flip
Life?
this.
Yeah. So I watched an interview from a couple who quit their jobs right at the beginning of the housing crisis in 2008. They worked at Merrill Lynch, like $75,000 salary, like great jobs.
Yeah.
To become real estate tycoons in Second Life. And what they do is you can buy a full island in the game for $250 US. So you buy a whole island, and they're like,
Then you just build stuff on it.
they're like, we just divide that into 16 subplots, and we sell those plots to people and let them sell it. We keep a line of communication with them whenever they want to upgrade. We sell their property, whatever they build, we sell that for them too, and they make a living. They're like, we make a pretty comparable living now to what we were making at Merrill Lynch, selling virtual real estate in this video game. And there's people who, I mean, they've started tech companies in the game.
I guess I would just feel bad because you
companies.
know that you're taking advantage of people.
I don't know, because I mean, if you think about it, like you said, like
Well, I mean, like I guess like yeah.
like if you spend, it's not a ton of real life money you're blowing in the game to spend a ton of money in game, you know, because of that exchange rate, like a $250 to $1. The buying power is pretty comparable, but the amount of money that
you can earn
you're
$1 million
spending-
in the game.
yeah, you're still like rich in the game, and you can buy tons of stuff, but it doesn't It's not $1 million real life dollars. So,
Wow.
so yeah, there's tons of.
I'm gonna sign up for this today just so I can learn how this works.
How to make money in it. Yeah. What's interesting? So by population, I was gonna say this earlier. By population of the amount of people who are in Second Life, it's actually right in the middle of like if it were a country, like right in the middle of countries, because it's like 900,000. So it's like right in like 180. And there's like almost 300 countries. So not quite the middle, but you know, economy. It's in terms of GDP, it's still technically the lowest, but there are countries that have a worse economy than Second Life. There's 7 countries that are lower in GDP per year than this video game, which is wild. Especially when you look at the exchange rate, because it's insane. And then there's people who will undercut the market. So it's perfectly allowed in the game for you to give money just to people. You can just give them money. So people go outside the game and are like, send me $50 on PayPal and I'll give you more than what you could exchange for. So instead of it being $1 for 250, I'll do it for 80 cents. And so it's like you're getting it for a better rate. But so they're able to kind of get the money back quicker. They can make a higher rate. And so now that makes the market fluctuate. So the market actually moves. The exchange rate is up and down because of this outside trading, which is super interesting. And so yeah, there's companies, anything you can think of that would have a company in real life.
How do you tell people that though? Like when someone's like, what's your job? What do you do?
Here's the thing. These people are meeting people in Second Life. Because like most of these people are spending 12 to 16 hours a day in the game. And so like they don't really have a life outside of their Second Life. Like that is their life.
Yeah.
And so there was one I watched an interview.
Yeah, that girl interviewed for the magazine and she was like, wait, this isn't a Second Life magazine?
Yeah,
You said you were Life magazine. Are you
Do you have a Second Life
Is
magazine?
this not Second Life magazine? I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Yeah, how much are you paying me?
Yeah. I only watch the news. It's Good Morning, Lindenville.
I watched an interview with a girl who's basically the Joanna Gaines of Second Life, and she just decorates people's houses. They hire her to decorate a house. The amount of money that she gets per house translates to $500 per house, and she's like, I do a couple of those a day. What? And literally all she does is just decorate a fake house, a fake virtual house, and people are legitimately paying her to do that.
So they're paying her $125,000 in the game.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not good at math, so unless I have a calculator.
So I'm just trying to. Do you start with any money? I'm going to sign up for this today. Dude,
I don't know if you start with money, but I know
you
can earn money in the game.
What if I became
people do it all the time? But
a Second Life mogul? Can you do stand-up comedy in Second Life?
There's arts, there's entertainment, there's even sports.
No, there's
like
not.
you can become an athlete and make money in sports.
I don't like it.
And
are there celebrities?
Yeah, there's celebrities.
Tell me who the Second Life celebrities are.
I don't.
That's hilarious to me.
I don't think you would know them because they're not.
Well, I wouldn't know them. Here's what I want to know though. Okay, so I'm curious, and if you're listening to this and you're just like, shut up. I'm going for my own curiosity now. So pull up their names and then pull up their Instagram because I want to know how that translates to.
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know how to do that.
If you go to secondlifeinstagram.com.
Oh, there's actually a lot of celebrities, celebrities who play.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Like who plays?
Give
me an example. And don't give me a minor league baseball player.
I don't know who this is. Michael Stackpole? You know who that is?
No.
He's a writer of role-playing games. So that's believable. Let's see. Who else is in here? Suzanne Vega? Do you know who that is?
No.
No. Okay. Drew Carey?
like Drew Carey?
Yeah, like Drew Carey. Apparently, yeah, Drew Carey's in it.
Drew Carey left The Price is Right. Like Drew Carey.
Yeah, Drew Carey.
I like that you listed like.
Well, I'm going through this list. I'm like,
writer Suzanne Vega. Do you know? Okay,
I was like looking for names that we might
Drew
actually
Carey?
know in this list, and then I was like, oh, Drew Carey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, literally every possible like lifestyle you could live in real life, you could live in Second Life. Here's something you'll hate.
Can't wait.
In 2007, Life Church opened their 12th their 12th campus in Second Life. Their 12th location ever was Second Life. Can you believe that?
Fiddle off.
Life Church has
I'm legitimately done with the episode. Is there more?
a Second Life. I mean, there's more.
I'm legitimately done with it. Okay.
We can fly through the last bit.
It's that Craig Rochelle was like, you know what? We got Drew Carey on board. So what if we just?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm amazed that that's not Judah Smith didn't do that first. You know,
it's mind blowing, man.
I'm annoyed. I don't like it. You were right. I hate that.
Yeah, I knew you would.
With a passion.
I knew you would.
In 2007,
2007, they were ahead of. I mean, they'd only been out for what, 4 years at that point. Like it. I mean, that was before I was in the office.
It's true.
I mean, they.
Okay.
I'm surprised. But yeah, so Second Life, here's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of investors who showed some interest.
Just the amount of times that you go, here's where things get interesting.
An hour into any episode.
Here's you say about everything. You go, here's where things get interesting. So people have their whole livelihoods on this. But wait, here's where it gets interesting. It's like everything. Okay.
So some investors have expressed interest in investing in companies within the game because, like, legitimate.
Yeah, because it returns a real profit.
Yeah, like there's actual returns in it.
That's crazy.
The one big issue is there's no real government in the game.
There's no regulation.
Yeah, but and so the government in the game, what they've
how do they pay employees?
It's just like they would in real life. Like,
so you have to negotiate a real
payment terms. But there is no real government.
Yeah.
And so the reason why they don't is because there isn't a possibility for wars. Like, that's not possible in the game. It's not possible.
They took out the guns and grenades.
Well, you can only do them on like closed. Like, if you're a military, if that's your job, you can go to war. But it's not real. Like, so you can't.
Can you live like in the past in this? Can you do like a medieval town or anything?
Well, I mean, I guess you could theoretically, but it would be like living in like the Renaissance Festival. And you're just like, I live here. And everyone would be like,
basically role playing.
It's fun to visit this for a weekend, but
people are like, wow, you know, none of this is real, honestly. This is super authentic, but don't, you know, you're kidding yourself, all right? Because you're just playing over here. We're going to go back to our second life. Where we're in reality.
Yeah.
But we love you, and we'll see you at Life Church this week.
So yeah, you can't steal anything. You can't hurt anyone. You can't break anything. Like, you can't start working. So it's like, they're like, there's
so does Craig Rochelle, I'm stuck on it. So Craig Rochelle gets up on stage, and obviously Craig Rochelle was taken, the username. So he is defiantly a pastor.
Because definitely a pastor was also taken.
No, he meant defiantly, though. He's like, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
So,
it's video venue.
I feel like I've actually seen that, though. So, I mean, when COVID hit, they were like, hey, everybody can you go to our Second Life campus, our secondlife.church.
Secondlife.church.
Dude, go to secondlife.church right now and see if that's a thing. I'm not even joking. I guarantee they did it. I guarantee they did it.
Maybe not.
How much is the domain? I'll freaking buy it, dude.
No, they didn't do it.
They didn't
Hold
do
on.
it because their website is life.church, right?
Yeah, it's life.church.tv.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I checked both and they don't have either.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
anyway,
let me check.
That was a fun bit.
Secondlife.church. Actually, it's available, but it's expensive. It's $43 a year.
Worth it.
Oh wait, no, that's not that bad. It's yearly, not monthly.
Okay, so
Yeah, so the investors want to get in it, but because
Yeah.
there's no government,
there's no guarantee of return. Also, if there is a return, there's nobody to enforce them getting the money back.
and there's no protection for things. So like a big issue that players have always had,
their
and the
insurance.
investors do, is the problem is when the game developers put out an update, they have effects on these businesses that sometimes they don't expect or intend. So for example, there was casinos were really big in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
And then in one year, I can't remember which one, like the late 2000s, they decided that they didn't want casinos in the game anymore. They didn't want gambling to be a part of the game.
So they just shut it down.
So they shut it down. And so what that did is there were these people that were making tons of money
Yep.
with their casinos, all of a sudden weren't making money anymore. But that was real life. They were real life making money off these casinos, and now they're not anymore. And the repercussions of that was all these people who owned casinos that had accounts at these banks, the banks took a hit too. And so there was one bank owner who said that when they made that update, they lost 64 million game dollars,
Yeah.
which translates to like 500,000 real life dollars. Like I lost $500,000.
More than that. If $1 million is $4,000, right? So it's 64 times 4.
Wait, what?
If $1 million is $4,000,
I think we just have to divide 64 million by 250.
is $1 million $4,000? Yeah, 250 per dollar. So you do 64 times 4, which is
It's $250,000.
yeah.
So you lost $250,000 real life
Okay,
because of this update, and they didn't.
which is
They
still
didn't
a very
intend
big
that.
hit. Right.
They didn't like that. Wasn't their
And the
intention
game
when they did
developers
that.
are just like,
Yeah, they're just like, oh,
oops.
bummer.
yeah,
Yeah, and so now people in the game are trying to make regulations for the game developers to be like, you have to be more careful when you make updates. We have to be able to like vote on them, and like
Yeah.
they want to
Which is what
regulate
we've been
their
trying
updates.
to do. We're like, God, you have to be more careful with these tornadoes
Like,
because
we
like
need to
people's
regulate
houses are
God,
getting destroyed,
but he's just doing it anyways.
and he's just letting it happen.
It's just like, sorry, I needed to do that.
And we're like, dude.
Yeah, and so that's the only
Yeah,
reason.
that's pretty powerful position. So how much money do they make, the creators of the game?
I don't know.
They're making revenue off that, yeah?
I don't know.
I mean, like the overhead is what? Like,
I mean, they have a server space. They have a company that's doing like support for it.
yeah.
But I don't know how much.
Do you pay to be on Second Life, or is it free?
No, it's free to play, but then you buy all the
Add-ons and all
Add-ons
the
and
money all
stuff.
that Okay.
So I don't know what their valuation is. I don't know. What is that worth? Oh gosh, $700 million.
Really?
Yeah.
And now, is that in real money or is that in London?
But yeah, there's like a lot of big name investors that want to get in it.
Yeah.
But
like Drew
they're-
Carey is like, take my money, guys.
He's like he's the biggest name investor they've got. But
But there's
they're
no regulations.
they're
It's
worried
dangerous.
about the
Yeah.
lack of regulation.
Yep.
Here's another interesting thing. There are
Here's where it gets interesting.
here's where it gets interesting. There's like 10 countries who have opened actual embassies in Second Life, like real embassies in Second Life, including Sweden, the Maldives, Deja Booty,
Yeah, no. Find the ones on the list that you can pronounce. Go ahead.
Deja Booty. I really just referenced this just so I can have Deja Booty, so I can say Deja Booty.
Is deja booty where you remember a good butt that you saw? Is that what that is? I think that joke's just edgy enough, you know?
It's like just on that line. Like you can still say it.
You're just sitting there and you're like, whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Deja booty.
Um,
That's write that timestamp down just in case I want to cut that out. But you know,
there's look.
we'll probably leave it in.
There's more I want to say about this. It's just
But I gave up after Life Church.
I know, and we've been talking for a long time. Here's the thing: it's just interesting. And like literally, think about real life. and all the implications that real life has on real life, and then do it again in a fake world.
Yeah,
That's what
but
it is.
they can't die.
Yeah, you're eternal until you die in real life.
And then your players
and then your
just
players
standing in the town square.
And it's like, oh yeah, that guy died a few years ago and he doesn't move now.
We're going to move him to the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah, we've been trying to get his password so we can move him, but
We've
can't.
painted him silver, and now he's one of those like
Now he's a statue.
street performers. He's really good though. He hasn't moved in years.
Yeah, he's
You
impressive.
just stay logged in.
Yeah.
You have to do so you can get legally married in the game.
Yeah,
like you get married.
Game married.
through
Yeah.
Oh, game married.
Oh, I wanted to say this though. This is another thing I really want to hit.
I don't know. Is game marriage legal? Game married.
So because it has become such a lifelike thing where you're actually making real money,
Yeah.
there has been some countries that have been like, we want to regulate some things. So for example, in Europe, if you are a European player of Second Life, you get charged sales tax in the game to Europe, to the European Union. And so like you buy stuff, they tax it in the game.
That's okay.
Isn't that nuts? Because they're like, this is a real economy. You're a citizen of the European Union, and you're buying
I guess
real
if you're
things.
making money from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they actually have to pay taxes off of Second Life
Interesting.
in the European Union.
The U.S. hasn't done that.
No, I'm very surprised they haven't
Well,
yet.
I'm sure the government doesn't know about it yet. You tell me if Donald Trump knew about this, he knew people were out there.
He would
on
start the Second Life
He's like, I'm not
force.
president of the Second Life. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Yeah,
He's
shut
like,
it
we
down
need-
unless Microsoft and Walmart can take it over.
We need to defend the Second Life, and he'd start a Second Life force.
Yeah, and people are like, no, are you talking about the Second Amendment? He's like, no, I'm talking about Second Life.
I'm talking to Second Life.
Second Life.
We need to defend our Second Amendment within Second Life.
Yeah,
They took the guns out way too long ago. We need them back.
I'm a 2A defender and a 2L defender.
Anyways, Second Life, we could go on forever. It's
We really
fascinating.
could because like we're in Second Life and we don't die. So
But yeah, so that's how Dwight opened a paper company and did the exact and it's legit.
so Dwight is in the game, is what I'm saying.
I wonder if they really made a Second
That's what
Life
I'm
for him.
saying. Like I think that's freaking funny. Okay, it sounds like you're just like you're not actually typing it. That you're doing that fake typing thing, where it just sounds like you're like. I don't know if it comes through the mic or not, but that didn't sound real to me at all.
Okay, you can actually visit. Okay, I thought it was a great thing. Okay, so it's not clear whether it's fan made or if they made it,
But it's real.
but somebody really did create the like assets from that episode. Whether it was them or whether it was a game like that, that's actually in the game now. It's pretty great. Anyways, that's Second Life. It's
So,
weird.
You know what's interesting
What?
is fiddling off.
You could be a fiddler
Here's
in
where it-
Second Life.
here's where it gets
interesting. In Second Life, you could be a fiddler.
Hey, thanks so much for watching Things I Learned Last Night. If you like that, there are more episodes you can watch, or you can watch some highlights, but please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode in the future.